Hello there. Today we are talking about some new Rode products that were released at NAB just earlier on this week. And I've got a couple of them right here with me. So the three things that were released, let's just jump straight in, shall we? And if I put that little thumbnail back up, there is a new wireless microphone, the Rode Interview Pro. Then there is the phone cage, which you can see right there in the middle, and then there's another one called magnetic mount over there on the right-hand side of that picture. And as I say, I've got two of them here. As soon as I've got the Interview Pro in my hand, I'll do a separate video all about that. But I will talk about that today because it's a really interesting product. So I'm going to do. I've already unboxed these, but they've gone back in the box. I'm going to show you what's in the box. I'll just get them all out. But the other thing that I'm going to talk about today actually is, and I should say, Rode did send me these for review, but I'm going to also talk about another Rode product which I bought with my own money just last week or a couple of weeks ago, which is the Rode DS2 studio stand. They don't call it a mic stand, and there's a very good reason for that, but I really love this. It's something that I needed to add in because I was looking for a new desktop mic stand, but I'll talk a little bit about that because it does have a number of applications, and we'll be using it in demonstrating these products. So what are they? Well, as you can see, this is a sort of phone cage that has got a magnetic mount on the back for you to be able to just drop in your phone. And then this one is actually my favorite of the two. It's a really sort of slimmed down mounting system, again, for your phone using the magnetic mount on the back of iPhones, for example. But I really love this one, and we'll get into that one in a moment as well. But first off, let's take a look at this phone cage. So I'll just go to my top-down shot over here. As I said, they're only in the box because I've just put them out of the way for the time being, but let's just open it up because people do seem to like unboxings. There's not much to this unboxing, I have to say, because it's very simple. You just open the box up and look, there it is right in the middle. So that is the phone cage. We'll get into that in just a moment. Also in here is this other box. And by the way, I do like the packaging of Rode products these days. I like the overall aesthetic of it, but it does tell you the different sort of connectors you've got, and there's a little QR code to go and get some more information. But that other little box in the middle there contains the actual magnetic mounting part, and this is basically just a round magnet. There you go. It's actually the same one. We'll see this in a moment when we look at the magnetic mount, but we've got these slots in the side which are actually something that is relevant for the magnetic mount rather than the phone cage. But there's a little thumb screw on the back there. You just unscrew that, and then this is going to be the quickest setup video ever. You just simply place the screw into the back there, and then you can screw on that magnetic mount part like this. And then if you want to get the logos all nicely lined up, of course, then that is how you do that. So now, there we go. That is the cage. That is the extent of it. But what that means is you can then just take your phone and it just clips onto the MagSafe. So not MagSafe. I'm getting my Apple terminology mixed up there. The magnetic mount on the back of the phone there, and just plugs in. But what is great about this is that it just has got so many different mounting points. I mean, if you look at all these different holes, you've got 3 cold shoes. So you've got one up at the top here. You've got another one just over here. And then you've got one on the side. And then you've got all of these sort of quarter 20s to attach things to. There's some larger ones. I'm just forgetting the size of those now. That's terrible, isn't it? But just down there. And so, yes, you can just mount all of your different accessories into that. Let me just come over to here for 1 second. Just change something on my stream. There we go. And so let's take a look at the sort of things that you might want to mount to it. So, for example, you might want to mount a microphone. So we could add that in here. You could also add in a light. So I've got this one, I always forget the pronunciation of this, the Zhuyin light. Here we go. I'll just add this one on like this. There we go. So that's mounted on there. And so now we've got suddenly quite a beefy thing that just allows you to simply just add in your phone. They've also got some nice sort of cable management going on here as well. So let's take a look at that. If we take a cable here and plug it into the side of this microphone, for example, then you just simply sort of hook them through these little slots here to keep the cables a little bit more organized. And then we might wrap that around there. And of course, I've not got quite a long enough cable, but there you go. You get the idea. Let me try wrapping it around this way instead. Just a way to keep the cables nice and tidy. So there, if we switch over to this view, then you can see that now we've got our cage, and we can obviously add on all kinds of other things with so many different mounting points that you've got on here. Then you've certainly got plenty of space for adding things like if you've got a separate SSD card, for example, you could have SSD drive. You could have a mount for that on the side. You may also want to have like an external battery if you've got a mount for that, and then potentially also handles. So this obviously has got handles built into it. That's the way it's intended to be used, but depending on the size of phone or device you're using in there, you could also attach handles to the side of it as well. In addition to that, I should say as well that the mounting holes, if you can see this on the side, as well as, just cover my eyes up so it focuses, can you see all those little smaller holes around the outside? So many accessories have these sort of little locating pins as well, so that when you actually screw them on, it keeps them and stops them from like sort of twisting as you are tightening things up. So the other way, obviously, you might want to consider using this is just to have it simply mounted in your studio, wherever you're doing your mobile content creation, and then you can simply just come and drop your phone into it and take it off. Now, the mounting of things using the magnetic mount is, it's a thing. There's lots of magnetic mounts over there. Personally, I'm always a little bit wary of things like this with my clumsy nature of knocking the things off. That said, I don't want to shake this too hard, but basically, that isn't going even if I give it a good, whack. So that's basically staying on there and staying in place. A couple of things you might also want to do is, of course, you could have your wireless system. So I've got here the Rode Wireless Pro. There is still space that you could maybe add on the transmitter from that, or the receiver, I should say. And with the Rode Wireless Pro, you can actually have two mics going into it. A mic going into the receiver as well as the transmitter. And so therefore you could have a mic that's actually on here, but then still be using some sort of wireless mic system, be it the wireless like this or the one that we'll talk about a little bit later. So anyway, let's take a look at the other device from now, though. Just get those out of the way. Before we do that, what I will do is I'll talk about this desk stand, because I'm going to actually mount the other one to this desk stand. Of course, it's got the pod mic on it at the moment, so let me just take that off. This is a great stand, though, and as I say, they don't call it a mic stand. It is DS2, the model number. So this is the desk stand, and it's because it could be used for all sorts of things. So you could, for example, if you've got the Streamer X, you could have that mounted on top of it. It comes as this, so there's just a couple of screws in the bottom. The base is really heavy. I mean, you saw that I've got the pod mic, which is actually quite a weighty microphone, and when that's mounted on there, you've got it's not tipping over at all. One of the things that I like about this desk stand in particular over a regular one, which is, you might see one with just a sort of simple thing coming up from a base, is I always find that they don't sort of reach out far enough. So if you've got them on the desk, then they always need to be sort of almost on the edge of the desk to be close enough to you. Whereas what this one does is, as you can see, I've got it on my desk there, because of this sort of angle that it's got on it here, or rather extended arm, it means that the microphone, if I just put the microphone back on it for a second, the microphone is obviously sticking well over the desk, but the stand itself is sort of still set back. So I just like that of it as well. And you can also adjust the angle, and then you can adjust the angle of this. So there's also plenty of height in it compared to some of the other stands as well. As I say, this is something that I bought for actually for microphone use because I've been testing a few other microphones recently, and so I just wanted something that I could just easily pop them onto. It does come, though, as well as the regular sort of mic attachment here. You've got this one, which then gives you a little 1/4-20 thread. And that means you can attach anything else to it. As I say, I've seen, a good use case would be for a Streamer X, perhaps. If you want to keep that up off your desk, then you'd have that sort of nicely to hand there. And so something like this. Let's go to this one over here, for example. I've got my mic in the way, but you can see you could have your Streamer X there, route your cables down through here, and then you've got your Streamer X nicely to hand at a nice nice height there. So yeah, just a nice little little stand. Also, if I just come over here, another use case that I've seen is for things like this, for cameras. So this is the OBSBot. You could use it for, a top-down camera or just pointing at something on your desk as well. So it can be used for either mics, cameras, or anything else that you want to actually put onto it. Let's take a look at the magnetic mount, though. I'll just grab some here. Beg your pardon. And so the magnetic mount is another mounting system, basically using the same sort of magnetic idea as the phone cage. And this one looks like this. So this is the magnetic mount. There's a few things that I like about this. I will just do the obligatory quick unboxing for you because it is about as quick as the other one. But there we go in the box, same style of packaging. And here you've got these 4 different components. So the first one you've got is the magnetic sort of centerpiece there. That's exactly the same as the other one that we saw with the magnetic cage there. And you've got these slots in the side. Now, this is where these are going to start to make a little bit more sense because what we've also got in here then are these 3 different arms. So there is one that has a 1/4-20 on the bottom, which is a sort of mounting point for a tripod. You'll notice these 3 little put it like that. You can see these 3 little dots on the end, or 3 little holes there. Those are essentially sort of acting as locating pins, because what happens is I just simply put these in the slots, and it really has got a sort of satisfying lock into it. So once it's in, it's not going to easily slip out, but at the same time, you can just give it a little push and it will come out. So it just sort of locks into place. So now you can see already what's going on. We've got a mounting point there, 1/4-20, with just this magnetic plate, which means that if we were to mount this onto our desk stand, for example, then we can just simply have this as a quick and easy way to, if I just undo this, maybe get it a little bit straight. I need to adjust this mounting point on there. Then we could just simply drop our phone directly onto the mounting plate like that. So however we want to mount that on our desk or wherever, we've got an easy way to do that. There we go. So yeah, that is what it looks like on the stand. But if I just take it off for a minute, we've got these other 2 arms that fit in, and you'll see how these work, because yes, you can mount it to a stand, but actually another use case would be, here we've got one that fits into the top, or indeed the side, wherever you want to put it. There is mounting points, on all 4 sides of this. And they're both, the long and the short one, have got the cold shoe attachment on it, just like that. So if I plug this one in here, for example, and then plug this one in here, maybe you are wanting to do something like that. And then you've got space to add in maybe your Rode Wireless Pro receiver, or whatever wireless device it is. We could simply add that in there, for example. You could also maybe add that light in. So if you want to add a light onto it as well. Then, of course, you've got the cold shoe attachment like that. Obviously, these are the things that I had attached to the cage as well. So it's exactly the same sort of idea as that, but obviously you don't have as many mounting points. But there again, if you are only intending to use a wireless mic, or a single light or something like that, then you don't necessarily need to have all the mounting points of the cage. Personally, I'm not someone who does a huge amount of mobile shooting, but something like this is really compact. I mean, if you compare it in size to the cage is obviously for somebody who wants something bigger, with those handles to be able to hold it, and also mount a whole load of other things. But I just really love the small form factor of this one. The other thing about it is, although we've got that mounting point on there, maybe you don't actually want that. I mean, if you think about, often you might be shooting with your mobile, but you do just want to use your wireless mic or wireless receiver or whatever. Well, what you could do is you could simply take out the parts that you don't need, and maybe actually all you're doing, in fact, let me put this smaller one on. This might make a bit more sense. what you could do is simply have something going on like this, where essentially you've just given yourself a mounting point for your transmitter. So you don't really have to use all of these things plugged in. You can just use whatever you want. And so that's sort of more what I would be tending to do with this, actually, is just for being able to use my phone, but have a simple way to mount the receiver there for the wireless. So it's great that you have that. Does feel like really solid quality. As I said, the clunk that you get when these things sort of go in, they're definitely not coming out of there, and yet from a portability point of view, if you were just sort of going out and shooting, to be able to have something like this just literally sitting in your bag, it's almost a no-brainer really to carry it with you, because it's so small and compact. And if you weren't going to be using a tripod where you're out, you could even leave this one out of your bag. But for the actual size of it, you might as well. So I'm going to be going on a trip just a week after next, so family holiday. So this is something that can definitely just fit into my regular bag that I just carry with me all the time. So as a sort of just a little daily carry accessory, if you're going to be out and about with your phone or and wireless system, it's just an absolute no-brainer. So really love these two new products from Rode. As I say, this is definitely my favorite because I'm just more of a casual filming sort of person with my phone, as opposed to needing the full-on cage. But of course, as somebody who might want to be using some sort of cage or whatever for your phone, then this definitely ticks a few boxes as well. So if I go to take a quick look, and I should mention, shouldn't I, the prices of these. So let's take a look at the price. You can get them from B&H at the moment. So if you go over to Rode's website, it says pre-order, but I think you can order them from a few places. One of the places I've seen is obviously B&H, so that's where I am right now. And here you can see a few other use cases. You get the idea, though. You've got all of those different mounting points, and you can add in whatever you want from there. Let's just see if there are any other interesting things that they have in here. Same sort of thing, lights and cameras, having it mounted to a tripod or something like that, to be able to just add in your accessories and just easily just sort of drop in your phone. Same sort of thing there. But the price of that is $120 for the phone cage. In the description of this video, I've left links to Rode's own videos about these, of course, as well. And then the other one is the magnetic mount, which is $90. I mean, the quality of them, the build quality is as you would expect from Rode products. It's just really up there. And so the next thing then that they announced, which is really interesting, as I say, I don't have one of these in my hands yet, but I will be talking about it probably sometime next week with an actual sort of hands-on demo. But it's the Interview Pro. Now, you may be familiar if you've used the Rode wireless system, either the Rode Wireless Go or the Rode Wireless Me or the Wireless... Wireless Go 2, Wireless Me, Wireless Pro, or any of those sort of systems, then there is this accessory that you can get, which is, let's have a look, $20, I think, something like that, $29, which is this thing here. So it's the Rode Interview Go, and what you do with this is, if I just take a look at the wireless system, just in case you are not familiar, but here we've got this is the Wireless Pro, so you have the receiver, which is the thing that I was just demonstrating on the cage, and then in this case you've got two transmitters, which can either be just sort of clipped on like that, so you can clip them onto your t-shirt or top or wherever. You can also plug in a lavalier mic, so if you want to be wired up sort of thing with a little lav mic, you can do that and then plug that into here, and it transmits back to the receiver, which is plugged into your phone or plugged into wherever. Well, what this accessory does, quite simply, is just gives you basically a housing. This, in fact, is one of the Rode Wireless Me's, same sort of thing though, and you can see that the mic just slips into there just like that. And then you have the foam windshield over it. So it's a way that you can basically transform your wireless mic into a wireless handheld mic. And as I say, this is $29. So if you've already got the Rode wireless system and you just want something for occasional use, maybe you're doing some interviews or an exhibition or whatever it happens to be, lots of people doing their videos from NAB using these just over the past few days that I've noticed coming out. Well, what the Rode Interview Pro does, this is the Interview Go, what the Rode Interview Pro does is basically give you an actual sort of professional style handheld microphone that is also wireless, and it will pair with any of Rode's wireless devices. So that means that the Interview Pro will pair with the Wireless Go, the Wireless Pro 2, the Wireless Pro, the the Wireless Go 2, but also things like the Rodecaster Pro, the Rodecaster Pro 2, the Stream Deck, and so on. So yeah, it's a really interesting concept here, and as you can see, it has got like much more of a sort of professional look to it, as in it is just a regular sort of handheld microphone. If we go through some of these pictures, just to give you a better look at what it looks like, here it is on the B&H website. So that's listed there as $249 for the mic. And if we take a look at some of these, there you go. That's you can see what it looks like there. So there it has got the windshield on it in that shot, and here it is without that. But there's a few features to note about it. It says there up to 30 hours battery life. So that in itself is pretty epic. That you could be doing a whole day around an exhibition or whatever, still taking footage. You're not going to have to be worried about battery running out. Another thing about it is that it has an onboard storage. So just checking, it's 32 gigabytes of storage. And if you'll notice here, then there is a button which is mute and also record. And so you can record directly to the mic as well. So as a backup, as well as it being a wireless transmitter that can be picked up by those devices, you can actually record to the device. And it's got 32 gigabytes of onboard storage, which equates to 40 hours of recorded audio. So to be able to be wireless transmitting, but also have 40 hours of backup audio, yeah, it's pretty astounding, really. And so let's take a look at some of these other shots here. You can get the idea of it. As I say, I'll make a full sort of review video when I get my hands on one. It's also got all of the same features that you get with the Wireless Pros. For example, there is a function called Gain Assist, which means that it helps you to keep the audio levels sort of consistent. And not sort of blow things out, as it were. But it's also got 32-bit float recording. If you're not sure what that is, basically what it means is whatever you've got your level set to in your camera, for example, or wherever, and the audio that's coming in, you might have something where it's sort of clipping or something like that. Well, this basically avoids that, because it means that what you can do is take the audio into your audio editor after the fact, and you basically have access to a lot more of the sort of audible range, basically, so that you can avoid those kind of things, and you can always adjust it. If you imagine sort of a chart, like an audio wave, they get to this point where it potentially starts clipping, and essentially with many regular sort of wireless mics, you've kind of lost that data. Whereas with this, what you can do is sort of bring it down and still recapture what was otherwise being clipped. That's in short what that is. So it's also got a condenser capsule in it, and I'm not sure of the exact specs of the condenser capsule. Let's just take a quick look to see if we can gain anything from that. But it's likely going to be much higher quality than you get in the actual wireless mics themselves. That said, these are give great quality audio anyway, so it's not like that was a particular issue. But nevertheless, I would expect these would be maybe a slightly different capsule that they're going to have in there. But I will definitely find that out for the full review video that I do. So here it is on the Rode website as well. Let's see if we can see anything else from here. So I'm not seeing anything to be able to compare it to the other one. Up to 200 meters range, that's another useful thing to note there. One of the things that came out of NAB, they were talking about different types of wireless and the different wireless spectrums, and I won't go into that specifically. But if you are in a room with lots of other people all using their wireless, then having the onboard recording is something else that's going to be useful here, because you don't have to worry too much about it's got 200 meters line of sight. Maybe across a big exhibition hall, if lots of other people are doing it, though. If you do potentially get any interference, then the onboard recording is definitely going to help with that as well. Also has time codes. Honestly, this is not something that I personally use, but time code capability when paired with the Wireless Pro receiver. So that's something that helps with, in editing, to be able to sync up your audio with your video and various different audio sources, sync them up together. So that ability to use time codes in there is something that no doubt for people who are doing editing is going to be very useful. As you know, this channel is called Take One Tech because all of my videos are done in one take with no edits. This is obviously live, so this is by definition that, but yeah, even the regular videos on my channel, I don't really do any editing at all in there. But nevertheless, good to have that time code function on there as well. So just coming back over here, what I'll do is I'll just double check where we are up to with things. Hey, I'll just say a couple of hellos. Hello, Parker. Great to see you here. Great to see you too, Valerio. You're welcome. Thanks for your content. You've made my life easier. Well, I appreciate that, and I'm delighted that that is the case. So I'm really pleased that you found it all useful. An Academy member, I should add as well. So great to see you in here as well. Logic Bees, hello, great to see you as well. You can also put the DJI mic in it as well. Oh, that will be, yes. So the this one, there are a few of these on the market actually, this type of thing. But yeah, the actual mounting of this is simply, it's just got a slot. So this is the Interview Go. You can see it's just got that slot in the back there, which means that you can basically just slot that in. So because these things on the back, these clips are made to be basically the same size as a sort of a cold shoe that you might have, which is how I could mount it to that mounting, then basically, yeah, anything with a cold shoe will tend to slide in there. So yes, you could technically use that for this for your DJIs or anything else as well. So, I mean, if you look at the pricing of this, I'll just go back to it, then it is definitely, you know, a pro device. So as I say, if I come back over here, $249. So yeah, you know, you're going to be somebody who's doing this. I mean, it's called a pro for a reason. It's going to be for people who are using this for pro interviews, and that's, you know, that's sort of reflected in that price. When it comes to the Rode wireless mic systems, there is the Wireless Me, the Wireless Me, the Wireless Pro. This one here that I've got is the Wireless Pro. I've got the Me and the wireless Go 2 as well. But I just recommend, if you're trying to decide between the Me, the Pro, or the Rode Wireless 2, if you're just looking for, you know, a single mic, or you're just doing some mobile creation, the Goes are great. Sorry, I'm getting all of my terminology wrong today. I mean, I'm having one of those days where my head's not quite clear about all this. Too many two-letter words here for me to deal with. So you've got the Rode Wireless Me. That is basically a single transmitter and a single receiver if you buy them as a set. The receiver itself has a microphone built into it. So it's actually great for sort of mobile, because you can have, and in fact my daughter uses that setup all the time, is the Wireless Me receiver can go on your phone, but it can still receive as well. It still has a built-in microphone, and then you've got that second one that could be used either with something like this or just as a regular wireless mic. So that's the Me. There's then kind of like the original, the Rode Wireless. Well, actually, the 2 was the later version of it, which is a receiver which doesn't have a mic, and then it's got 2 transmitters, 2 transmitting mics. Then there is the Rode Wireless Pro, which comes in this awesome little charging case. It also has a receiver and 2 transmitters, but it also comes with a load of accessories, and in particular it comes with a couple of the lav mics. Now the lav mics that you get with the Rode Wireless Pro are their lavalier 2 mics, so they look something like this. They're the ones that have got the little capsule that is facing sort of outwards. So they've got a capsule that faces outwards rather than the sort of barrel ones. I understand that the capsule in here is the same as, or is slightly different rather, I should say, than the one that is in the transmitters themselves, whereas the original lavalier mic is the same as the ones in the transmitters. So if you are using the Wireless Pro, you will get a slightly richer audio quality by using the lavalier 2 mics that come with them. So and they're also obviously a lot more discreet if you're just wearing it on you rather than having the the actual transmitter itself. So if you're trying to decide between those three different mics, there's obviously a price differential between them. And in fact, let's just take a look at that price. These are obviously been out for a while, but I will just come and take a quick look at this because it's worth sort of noting. So here is the Rode Wireless Me, $148. Then you've got the Rode Wireless Pro at $399, and then there is also the where is it now? The Rode Wireless. I inadvertently changed my language to Thai, so I don't want to be typing it in Thai. Rode Wireless Go to. And this one is $284. Now, there is obviously then this price differential. You've got the Pro, which is $399. You've got the Wireless Go 2, which is $284, and then you've got the Wireless Me, which is $148. For me, the real choice that I would recommend is deciding between either the Me or the Rode Wireless Pro, because as I say, with this, you get the charging case, which you can buy a similar charging case separately for the Rode Wireless Go, but the Pro to come with all of those accessories as well, such as there's magnetic mounts as well to mount it onto, so you can just sort of clip it onto your t-shirt with a magnet. But specifically those two lavalier mics, it just makes so much more sense. You're going to get a much better result if you're looking for a 2-mic professional setup with this versus the Go 2, in my opinion. But then the Wireless Me is also great if you're just using it for for mobile content creation or whatever. I say just using it for mobile content creation. I do actually have one of these paired with my Rodecaster Duo as well, so it's great for that. One of the things that's different on the Pro versus the Go 2 versus the Me is that the Me and the Pro both have that gain assist feature, and that is something that is really useful. So either you're a Pro and you're using this one with or without the gain assist, but you've got the 32-bit float and the time signatures, time stamping or whatever, time coding, if I get my terminology right, or maybe that's not something that you're interested in, but the Me has that gain assist on. So I think it's for me that's the real choice. I am going to do a full sort of video comparison showing all of the features sort of side by side. So I'll do that as a separate video. But yeah, the wireless system is great. So the wireless interview Pro, though, the new mic basically would pair with any one of those systems. So if you do already have one of those, then yeah, you can pair the Interview Pro with that. So if you were just looking for just a solution to do interviews, given that the mic has the gain assist and things like that all on board, then you could just sort of pair it with the Interview Go, the Wireless Me, for example. So something like this. Just note that the time, if you want the time coding, then that would be require you to use it and pair it with the Wireless Pro as well. Let's take a look at a couple of comments. The Interview Pro is great that you can buy it on its own. Why then can't we just buy one Wireless Pro transmitter? Yeah, I don't know about that actually. The Wireless Pro transmitters do come as a bundle. It's two. You can buy individual Wireless Me's, I understand. So I don't know is the answer. I don't know why you can't buy individual Wireless Pro transmitters if indeed you can't. But I know you can buy the individual Wireless Me. So I don't know. I did wonder actually if they sold them separately. Let's just see if they have got them on here. We'll just try this. I go to Rode and search for wireless transmitter. Yeah, so it is just, it's the Me and the Go 2 that they seem to sell separately, and the Pro you're right. It doesn't look like it's there on Rode's website. So they've got the Wireless Me transmitter and the Wireless Go transmitter, but not the Pro. Yeah, it's interesting that. I don't know is the answer. So yeah, not sure about that. By the way, this is a great way if you do have a Rodecaster Pro 2, a Rodecaster Duo, or a Streamer X, and you just want to have a sort of in-studio wireless solution, or wherever you're out and about with your device, then yeah, you can just buy one of these. You don't have to buy the set in order to use it with the Rodecaster, and that's one use case that I have for it. I'll use a lavalier mic with the wireless transmitter to pair with those devices. The Rodecaster Pro 2 is the one that I'm using at the moment. So let's have a look. So new devices are great, but I'm prone to purchase classic Rodecaster and NT1 Signature Series setup for a job I intend to do. Well, yeah, I mean that's a different ball a different ball game, that isn't it? Really, you know, we're talking about a desktop solution there, but yeah, great setup though, nevertheless. And yeah, you're saying that as far as you know, the wireless transmitters. Oh, so that's what we've just covered. Yeah, so the Wireless Me and the Go are the ones that seem to be separate, but I'm not seeing that the Wireless Pro are there. Well, if there are any other questions about Rode things that I've got on my desk with me right now, or any other Rode questions, feel free to drop them in. If you aren't already, then you may be interested in checking out the Take One Tech Discord community, and you can find that by going over to here, takeonetech.io/family. It's free to join, and then you can go in there and ask any questions, and I will be posting some things about my experiences of using these products as I actually spend a little bit more time with them. I have actually had them for a week or so now, actually, but been busy recording. I should probably mention this as well. Re-recording, I should say, my Ecamm Live Masterclass. Now, this is something that is actually my most popular course that I've got, and I'm doing a massive update for it. It will include all of the new Ecamm for Zoom integration tutorial videos as well, which, by the way, is coming into public beta on next Tuesday, and then at some point after that, after the beta testing, then it will come into the sort of regular version as well. Now, the difference with my course this time is I am in fact making it completely free. So if I go to the right file there we go. And so you can actually pre-register to get access to this. So if you pre-register, it will just mean that you'll get access to it as soon as it is officially launched on the 1st of May. And as I say, this is a completely re-recorded Ecamm Live Masterclass, and you can register and get access to that. And as I say, it will include all the updated videos, all the new Ecamm features, and specifically also full tutorials on all of the Ecamm for Zoom integration, which is, it's been said before about many of the Ecamm Live releases, but it is an absolute game changer, honestly, to be able to integrate Ecamm with Zoom, bringing guests from Zoom into your Ecamm Live productions, whether you are a podcaster, you're using it for business, you're doing virtual conferences, virtual events, workshops, or anything like that. Yeah, Ecamm for Zoom is quite spectacular. So it's all covered in there. You might say, well, how is it that this course is free? Well, honestly, I've got so many other courses. I've got also my Ecamm Live, my Take One Tech Academy and various other things. You may be familiar with the term lead magnet. Often people give away a PDF or something like that in exchange for your email address because, you know, there is an exchange of value there, and that maybe they have some other products or services that they can offer you. So honestly, Ecamm Live Masterclass is my most popular course. And so I figured, well, I'll just make it completely free, and then then maybe if people try that out and they like what they see in terms of my courses, having experienced one and having experienced a full course, then they may be interested in my Rodecaster Masterclass, my Stream Deck Masterclass, maybe joining the Take One Tech Academy, and all of those things. So that's the full disclosure. There's no catch. You don't have to do any of those things either, but it is just completely going to be completely free. And so, as I say, you can just go and register your interest. I should probably put the link in, shouldn't I? That might help. If you go to ecammlivemasterclass.com, let me just drop this in here, Ecamm Live Masterclass. That shows how unprepared I was today. There we go. ecamlivemasterclass.com. And that will take you through to it. And as I say, yes, it will be available on the 1st of May. So just pre-registering means you'll just automatically get access. You'll get all of your login details and things like that. To anybody who has bought my previous Ecamm Live Masterclass, or the current version of it, whatever you want to call it, there are going to be some differences. So I go into some more depth on certain things in the previous version because they're sort of outside the scope of Ecamm. So you may be familiar with, all of the, I effectively had a mini masterclass on Stream Deck and Rodecaster, for example, in the original Ecamm masterclass. So that's not there in this updated version because it's more focused on just like the Ecamm stuff itself. But for anybody who has previously bought my Ecamm Live masterclass, then I've got something special for you in terms of a special offer, which will be going out in the coming days as well. So there we go. If there are any other questions, though, let me know. Rode Wireless, let's see. Rode Wireless Go case acts only as a charging case. That's a really good point, actually. Yes. Let me just mention that because that is another advantage of the Rode Wireless Pro is that it comes with. Where is it now? I think I've just closed it down. No, I haven't. There we go. The case that comes with the Rode Wireless Pro, this charging case here, it's charging, but it's also got a really sort of fat cable that goes into your computer. It also transfers the data over it as well. Whereas the case that you can buy like as an addition to the Rode Wireless Go, I've mentioned that you can get a case for this. That is just a charging case, as you rightly say there. So yeah, just for me, it's another tick in the box for the Rode Wireless Pro. Honestly, it's just such a great package to have all of that, all those accessories, and all of that functionality as well. You're saying that was a deal breaker for you buying that case because it's just charging, but. Great to see you here. Thank you very much for stopping by. Whoops, I just dropped your comment off. If there are no further questions about anything that I've talked about here, feel free to go and drop them in the Discord if you want to ask anything after the fact. If you're watching on the replay, I will be doing a sort of standalone videos about all three of the products, so the cage, the magnetic mount, and then also the Interview Pro when I get my hands on it as well. But for the time being, though, thanks for stopping by. It's a bit of a short stream today, but thanks for stopping by. I hope you found some use in this. Look forward to seeing you in another video. Thank you as ever to my channel members. I really appreciate all of your support. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you next time.